With that via the Cowherd Global Satellite, Chris Broussard, FS1, our NBA guys. Let me start with that. 3.5 minutes to go. Steph had 17 points. He ends with 33. At the end of games 5 and 6, Harden is, the numbers are fine, but he disappeared in 5, and Chris Paul was better in game 6 late. I thought this hurt Harden's legacy, D'Antoni's legacy. Does the window close in Houston for you? Let's start with that, Chris.
James Harden, I just wanted to see if he showed up. I mean, I think they lost to a better team even without Kevin Durant. But I can't be too critical of Harden because I do think he played well. I mean, like you said, the numbers, 35 points a game, 45% shooting for the entire series, hit some big shots late, in game 6. They just lost. I think Mike D'Antoni, his legacy, I think gets hurt because of this. This is the Phoenix Suns of Steve Nash. Mike D'Antoni, I've said it, 2 weaknesses, lack of attention to detail, non-confrontational. Those things hurt you when the gap between your teams is this big and every little thing matters. And that's what's hurt D'Antoni in the past, and that's what hurt him this weekend with the Rockets. But I don't want to say, if you put a gun to my head and ask me, will James Harden win a title in Houston? I probably would say no. But I don't think it's because of any lack in his game. I think it's because right now they don't have the pieces. They need a front court player who can create some offense so it's not all James Paul, Chris Paul, or James Harden, Chris Paul, Austin Rivers, or another guard. Like, everything is created by guards in Houston, Eric Gordon being the other one. They need a front court player they can run pick and roll with Harden who can do more than catch a lob at the rim and dunk it, a la Clint Capella. I project this, Colin. Daryl Morey needs to get on the phone and call Philadelphia and offer Chris Paul for Ben Simmons.
Wow. Ooh, I like that.
I don't know if they would do it. I don't know if Philly would do it, but Ben Simmons could run the high pick and roll with Harden, and even though he can't shoot, if you pass it to him in a pop, he can create a play for himself or another teammate. That's something they don't have. If you look at the history of the NBA, teams that win championships have typically had a guard and a front court player who could create offense, either for themselves or their teammates. That's what Houston lacks.
Let me talk about Steph. I said this last week, and I'll say it again. I've never seen a player this revolutionary and this good who gets less respect. If you ask players, they like Westbrook over Steph. Why is it we constantly invalidate? I could argue he's the best leader, the best shooter, and the best ball handler in the league. Why doesn't he get any love?
Well, I think recently it's because, I didn't kill Kevin Durant when he went to Golden State. But I do feel like, and have felt like, we as NBA nation, if you will, fans and everyone else, we've been robbed. We have been robbed of Steph Curry. The MVP Steph Curry has gone into hibernation. Remember, he was the only unanimous MVP in NBA history. He averaged 30 points a game in 2016. Every other night he was doing something that made us lose our breath and fall out of our seat. And now that Steph only comes out every once in a while. Tim Legler, who we both worked with at our former network, I have great respect for his basketball knowledge. He said at that time in 2016, Steph Curry could end up being one of the top 3 players in NBA history. That's an overstatement. I don't think he could get that high. But that just shows you how dynamic he was. We haven't seen it because Durant has been there. Durant is a better player, and it's taken away from the individual production of Steph and Klay.
Yeah. I'm watching these highlights. He's just remarkable. Okay, I think, listen. Oh,
and can I say this?
Yeah.
We should stop questioning his toughness.
Thank you.
His toughness never should have been questioned, but he played with a dislocated finger and still hit those 30-foot three-pointers at the end of that game. So let's not question his toughness just because he looks all cute and cuddly.
Okay, I think Philadelphia could be Oklahoma City. I think they have tough choices to make. I don't think you should pay Tobias Harris what he wants. I think he's a B, not an A. I think Embiid's body scares me. I believe you got to move some pieces here. What do you do with Philadelphia? They couldn't win a second-round Eastern Conference playoff series against a team many see as a one-man team, the Raptors.
Yeah, they have some tough decisions. There's no question. Let me start with what I liked. I thought they showed more heart than I expected.
Yeah.
I liked the fact that Joel Embiid was crying after the game, bawling after the game. I liked his demeanor in the post-game press conference. I could see the pain he was feeling. That's the type of pain, Colin, that ideally will make him change his diet, make him improve his work ethic, and make him drop about 20 to 30 pounds, which will help his knees. That's what the first thing that needs to happen. The second thing, I brought up Ben Simmons going to Houston. Who knows if that could happen. But if you keep Ben Simmons, I give him 1 year. You've got this offseason, Ben, to come back with the semblance of a jump shot. Because here's the problem. If you watch that game 6 or 7, you heard Greg Anthony, the broadcaster for TNT, constantly saying throughout the game, why isn't Embiid in the post? They need to put Embiid on the block. Put Embiid inside. They couldn't do it because Ben Simmons was on the block and he wasn't posting. He was just down there because if you're going to have Simmons on the floor, that's the only place you can put him that the opponent will guard him. So that forced Joel Embiid out playing like a guard. Joel Embiid might as well have been 6'3" yesterday on the offensive end. He was playing like a guard, and that hindered a huge advantage Philadelphia had yesterday. The only choice, though, was to put Embiid in the block, take Simmons off the floor, and put Mike Scott down there so you get some floor spacing. So that's the conundrum. So those are my two main things. And then I've got to figure out, man, is Jimmy Butler, look, he's a great player. Can I trust him if I pay him the max to be the man in my franchise? And I wouldn't want to give him the max, but it might take that to fend off the Lakers or the Knicks or some other team out there that signs him as a free agent. So that's their toughest decision to me.
By the way, just announced that Kevin Durant's out for Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Again, if I'm Portland, I don't know how I feel about that because Golden State has played so well without him, 30-4 without him and Steph playing. It is unlikely Durant plays Game 2 either. This by Ramona Shelburne. So you got your Kevin Durant issue. Again, I'm not sure how that lands. Speaking of landing, Fred Vogel's the coach of the Lakers. Frank Vogel. Sorry. Look at I butchered that.
That says a lot, though, that you thought it was Fred.
So I'm sorry. That's his brother, Fred.
That says a lot about his what he's done, right?
Right. Somebody told me you liked the move.
Well, look, when I first heard it, I was stunned like everybody else because of the names out there. Jason Kidd, Lionel Hollins, Mike Woodson, Vogel. Vogel would have been my fourth choice, okay?
Yeah.
And then I figured, wow, what would have made more sense was to put Jason Kidd as the head coach, Vogel as an assistant. Made some calls, talked to some people close to LeBron. I'm told LeBron has respect for Vogel and that it dates back to Miami versus Indiana. And LeBron understands that it was LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and a good supporting cast against Paul George, Roy Hibbert, George Hill, and David West. That's not a great group. And yet that team took Miami to 6 games twice and to 7 games once.
Yes.
So LeBron has respect for Vogel's coaching ability. And Colin, that's the key. If Vogel shows LeBron he's prepared, he's dotted his I's and crossed his T's and has everything, that's how non-players get the respect of players. They show you they know everything you need to know to help you win as a team. And LeBron will buy in to Vogel, I'm told. And that's the key, Colin. LeBron has to buy in. Portland is in the conference finals. Portland. You can't tell me a healthy LeBron James And whatever they have around him in L.A. can't compete with Portland. So if LeBron has the right attitude, buys into Vogel, and Vogel knows what he's doing, then I think they could have a successful season. Before you go, do you have something to say about Kawhi Leonard? Yeah, is he in your top 5 yet?
He's pretty good. By the way, I said this.
You come around on him?
I said this. Nobody's going to compare him to Jordan, but I never thought Kobe played like Jordan. I thought Kobe was much more artistic, had better shooting range. They were different players. I watch Kawhi, and he looks a lot like Jordan. The physical strength, the sinewy body, the hands, the improvisation, the mid-range jumper. Kawhi, more than Kobe, plays like MJ to me. Am I nuts?
Well, I think stylistically, the grace in the air, the movements, Kobe was like Michael in that regard. Like, Michael's a lot more graceful than Kawhi. But if you look at the spots on the floor, you mentioned the fadeaway that Kawhi has and was hitting last night. The defensive ability, the strength. You know, going in the post even, like, those are similar to Jordan. So I'm not mad at that comparison, although I think Michael was his game was so much prettier, just the way he moved, like Kobe. But yeah, spots on the floor, effectiveness, style of play, there's a similarity there for sure.
He's in my top 5. How about that? We'll sneak him into our top 5 now. Just put him right
He's going to look good in the Clippers uniform next
Come on, slow down there.
No. You know, look, here's what I was going through yesterday, Colin. In the second half, when it looked like the other Raptors were afraid to shoot, and all they were doing was looking for Kawhi, I was saying, see, this is a reason for him to leave. Nobody else wants the ball. It's all him. And then when he hit that shot, I was like, that's the type of emotional moment. That's the type of bonding experience that could lead a guy to stay in Toronto. And then I thought, but you know what? It's the second round. For all that, the greatness that shot had, the tears from the general manager or the president, Masai Ujiri, all of that, if they go to Milwaukee and get beaten soundly in 5 or 6, it's out the window. And I don't think it would do anything to keep him there.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.